right, today's topic of discussion is going to be whether or not you should go to the gym when you're sick.
Passing out. Am I really going to die?
So, I've got a sinus infection, a little bit of chest congestion going on right now. It all stemmed from some strep throat. Not sure how I got it, but whatever, here we are. And I've had a little bit of a fever yesterday, about 101 degree fever. And as you can see, I'm also sunburned because despite all these symptoms, I decided to go fishing and not wear any sunscreen. So, sorry my face looks so hideous in this video,
I'm ugly and I'm proud.
but hopefully you're just listening and not actually watching the video. If you are, then okay, great. But the topic of this video is, should you work out when you're sick, feeling under the weather, when you have a cold, the flu, you name it? Long story short is yes, you should be working out even though you're sick. And here's why. When you're sick, you really don't feel well, obviously. You feel groggy, you feel weak, you very rarely get good quality sleep because maybe your airway, your nasal passage is a little bit congested or inflamed like mine. Or maybe you're just uncomfortable because you're sweating at night. Whatever you have going on, food poisoning, you name it. Objectively speaking, it is always better to do some exercise than no exercise. And here's why. When you work out, when you're sick, obviously you're not going to feel 100%. Because you're not 100%. You're sick. But go to the gym and try and do the same amount of weight, the same amount of reps, sets, you name it, even though you're sick, because your body is firing on all cylinders to try and get you back to 100%. Your immune system's in overdrive, your metabolism's in overdrive. You're probably burning more calories than what you realize, so you can probably afford to intake a little bit more calories for the time being. If you're eating at a calorie deficit and you get sick, you might want to increase your caloric intake just temporarily so that your body has the nutrients and the electrolytes and vitamins necessary, macros necessary to get your body back to normal. But if you follow through with your training during the few days that you're sick, or if you're sick for a week, God forbid, if you follow through with your training, once you are back to being 100%, once you're no longer sick, you're going to find that the weight that you were doing before you were sick, which was hopefully the same amount of weight you were doing when you were sick, is a lot lighter. You're going to find that you're much, much stronger than what you were prior to getting sick because you worked out. And again, it goes back to the fact that your body is working overtime to try and heal itself. So if you follow through with working out, the progress that you make in the gym while you're sick is going to translate to increased gains in a shorter period of time. Excuse me. Now, are you going to insanely increase your bench, your weight, all this stuff when you're sick? No, you're not. This isn't like a bodybuilding workout hack, get sick and then start working out so that you can, make gains much quicker. What I'm trying to communicate to you guys is that if you work out, you're going to find that you're much stronger after being sick than you were before or during, because again, your body is putting everything into making sure that everything's optimized and that the infection's cleared, that the virus has run its course, whatever you have going on that's causing you to be sick. Now, the second part of this conversation is the reason why you want to exercise even though you are sick is because at the very least, you don't want to lose whatever progress, whatever muscle you have made in the gym. There's a common misconception that when you're sick, the first thing you need to do is stay in bed all day and, eat copious amounts of food or eat whatever food makes you feel good, junk food a lot of the time. That's not necessarily the best course of action. When you lay in bed, especially when you lay flat in bed or like lean back, aggressively in bed, your body literally doesn't have to do any kind of work whatsoever. None of your muscles are really working with the exception of maybe your arm to, pick up the remote to change the channel or pick a different show to watch. And so when muscles aren't being used for a prolonged period of time, longer than what they're used to, like, when we sleep, when muscles aren't being used, they gradually begin to decondition. They gradually begin to atrophy, to shrink. Now, if you're younger, this phenomenon is not going to happen as quickly to you as it would if you're much older or already relatively deconditioned, but it's still going to happen to you. And if you watch my videos, well, you know, I'm guessing you're interested in working out. You're interested in doing whatever you can to make yourself better in the gym, reach whatever goal you have from a physique standpoint, weight standpoint, strength standpoint, you know, you name it. You don't want to lay in bed all day when you're sick. Your muscles are going to shrink, and then when you finally do go back to the gym, you're going to find that the weight that you were doing before you were sick feels much heavier because you didn't push through, you didn't work out, even though you were feeling under the weather. Now, don't get me wrong. I don't expect you to work out with 100% intensity when you are sick, and I certainly don't expect you to kill yourself in the gym, because ultimately that is going to prolong your healing. It's going to prolong your body getting better. What I'm just saying is just go to the gym, go through the motions, work out with moderate intensity, and don't skip altogether. Another reason why you don't want to skip going to the gym altogether is because if you have, especially something like what I have right now, like an upper respiratory, upper airway sinus infection kind of thing going on, your lung, your sinuses, everything is going to heal much quicker if you're up and moving. If you're laying down in bed, lung expansion is not as ideal. It's not as good when you're laying down flat versus when you're upright and vertical. It's a lot easier for your lungs to expand against gravity when you're standing versus having to have your rib cage and chest rise and fall as you inhale and exhale when you're laying down. It sounds silly, but it is scientifically proven that people take more shallow breath when they're laying down than when they're upright. When you're taking shallow breaths, not as much air gets exchanged in between breaths. You don't get as good ventilation. So you end up with the same moist, dirty, bacteria-ridden air in your lungs when you're sick in that dark, space, because it's dark inside your lungs. There's no light there. And so it facilitates the growth of bacteria in your lungs. It makes it more difficult for your body to clear out the bad air and breathe in good air. And it can prolong your recovery from being sick. So you'll find you'll feel much better, much quicker if you just go to the gym, if you're upright more than horizontal, laying down when you're sick. Calorie intake when you're sick, you can kind of cheat a little bit because your body's using a lot more calories to heal itself than what it would if you are just trying to maintain your current weight. So this is why you kind of tend to crave bad food a little bit more than the standard chicken, broccoli, and rice, or lean beef or fish or whatever it is you usually eat. So for the time being, while you're sick, it is okay to indulge in foods that are heavier in calories, heavier in things like cholesterol. Do not go crazy on the sweets. You might have a little bit of a craving for super sugary things like ice cream, milkshakes, donuts, cookies. Because of the high sugar intake of those foods, bacteria loves sugar. So if you have an infection somewhere in your body, it's going to feed off of that excess sugar that you feed it, and it's going to take your body a longer time to recover from whatever it is that's making you sick. So just kind of wanted to tell you guys that, since I'm under the weather right now. I'm going to the gym right now, about to do my cardio, a little bit of weightlifting, and so just the 3 key points. 1, go to the gym even though you're sick. 2, try to stay as upright as possible even when you are sick. Don't take the entire day off laying down in bed, shrinking your muscles, not getting good ventilation in your lungs. And then thirdly, make sure that your body is being fueled adequately so that it can repair itself from the workout that you do when you're sick, but then also your immune system needs additional macronutrients, vitamins, electrolytes, you name it, to heal itself and fight the infection. So those are the 3 takeaways of this conversation. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. If you disagree with what I'm saying, by all means, let me know. But if you like the video, please like the video. It really helps the channel to grow. If you like these little kind of snippet conversations, by all means, subscribe to the channel. We just hit 500 subs not too long ago. I'm very proud about that, but I'm more than anything thankful to you guys for that support. So I've yapped enough. I'm headed to the gym. I hope you all have a good day. Catch you on the next video.